Perhaps when we sit still, the Spirit is given time to speak to our hearts and transform our lives. Cassandra uses the process of baking bread to help us understand the importance of quiet rest in our Christian lives. And I want her to read what she said about that. 160, okay. Making homemade bread is done in stages. After gathering the ingredients, the first step is to proof the yeast. Combining water, sugar, and potato flakes activates the dry yeast. I didn't know about the potato flakes. Anyway, the water hydrates the yeast while the other ingredients help it to grow. After walking through the first step, the next step is to wait for an hour. There is time for activity, but an equally important part of the process is being quiet and still. The yeast can't work properly if it doesn't have a period of rest. There are 2 more cycles that follow that same pattern. After the yeast is proofed, you mix all the ingredients together. Measuring, pouring, stirring, and kneading are part of this process. It takes a great deal of effort to make the dough. The flour tends to fly, the water needs to be the right temperature, and the kneading needs to be exact. Yet, after the dough is made, there's another period of quietness. The dough must rest. It cannot become what you want it to be unless you leave it alone. You must put it in a bowl, cover it, and walk away. This time, the quiet period is longer, for about 4 hours, during which the dough grows. It literally doubles in size. If you poke at it or try to work it, the yeast will not spread evenly through the dough and become tough and unresponsive. The final phase follows the same cycle. The risen dough must be punched down and kneaded yet again. This time you have to put your muscles into it. Working the dough takes time and patience. After preparing the pans, the dough is divided and set again to rest. The work of the yeast takes about 8 hours. Finally, you are ready to bake and enjoy the bread. As I was reading that, preparing for the lesson, I thought of camp. Because is it Friday that they do the Friday?
Thursday.
Oh, the first day.
Thursday.
Oh, Thursday. These wonderful ladies that have been in the kitchen for a long time, they know how to make dough. And they punch and knead, and they have a big machine that helps stir it because they make lots of them, you know. But you should see this dough because it's the table is stainless steel, and it's like about 8 to 10 feet long and about 4, maybe 3 feet. And then there's another table right next to it that's just the same size. And there is bread spread from end to end. And then they, put the cinnamon, and then there's like 3 people on the edge of the table, and they all roll it together in unison, and then they cut it up. So I learned a lot in camp last year. But it did take a long time. I think, does she let it set overnight?
Right.
Yes. She lets her dough set overnight. We must invest in times of quietness with God in order to experience the full power of his transformation. We're given a really beautiful picture in Psalm 131. It's only 3 verses, and I want to read it. Psalm 131. O Lord, my heart is not proud, nor my eyes haughty, nor do I involve myself in great matters or in things too difficult for me. Surely I have composed and quieted my soul, like a weaned child rests against his mother. My soul is like a weaned child within me. O Israel, hope in the Lord from this time forth and forever. A sleeping child being held by his mom or her mom is such a beautiful, peaceful, content, secure picture, isn't it? All needs have been met, the child's not crying, and pretty soon while you're holding him or her, the limbs get really heavy and he just falls asleep. It's a special time, both for the child and for the mom. I believe that we too can snuggle up with God. My grandson calls it getting cozy. Our Abba Father, and get close to our God, our Abba Father, and surrender to his love and his desire to share quiet times with us. Try it this week. I tried this week. I tried it to just sit and be quiet, not read, not study, not read one of my Christian books that I have, not sing, don't have the radio on, all of those things, just sit and be quiet. And it's hard because your mind has, I would start thinking about something else and I'd go, oh Lord, sorry, this is our time, and it's really hard. But I think with practice, we can get to it. Of course, you have to make the environment so that you can. You can't do it in a room with the TV on, or maybe go out in your backyard or whatever. But if we start small, before long, we can get this discipline put in our lives, and we can start craving the quiet times that we have with the Father. And those are all our words today. But we have a joyous occasion because tomorrow is Sue's birthday. So we're gonna sing happy birthday. Are you ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sue. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
And that's from everybody.
Oh.